Hello Anna, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about your new collection of work. You were born and raised in Oxfordshire. How did the surrounding Oxfordshire countryside impact your work?
So the Oxfordshire countryside is actually one of the reasons that it inspired me to become an artist in the first place. I grew up in a tiny hamlet about 10 miles away from where your gallery is. I started painting deliberately so I could put the countryside on my walls, step through that window into the spring day that I've painted, into the autumn fields that I've painted.
Your work does hold a deep affinity with nature. How important is the natural world around you?
Outdoors and nature are hugely important to me. Without nature, I don't know whether I would paint. So I think it's kind of like they kind of go hand in hand.
Do you start each piece with a preliminary sketch or a study before moving on to the final piece?
I don't do preliminary work for a painting. I prefer to dive straight into it. So all my mark making is fresh. I do use photos if I do lots of sketches or any sketches or preliminary work. For me, it loses some of the novelty and the freshness, the spontaneity.
How much time do you spend outside? Do you ever work plein air?
I have never worked plein air, or rather, I don't work plein air. The only time I've ever done that was actually for Sky Landscape Artist of the Year, and that was outdoors. And whilst I love doing that, a lot of my work is in layers. I do spend a long time over a period of days, weeks, even months sometimes, making work.
Well, exactly. It's certainly not a process that can be rushed. You studied textile design and marketing. After graduating from this, how did your career develop before you transitioned into the artwork which we see now?
I was working for Disney, actually. It was an amazing company, but I still felt I wanted to do something. And I was reading about Joan Eardley, who's an amazing artist, and I think she died quite young, in her early 40s, of cancer, but she had so much more to give. Then I thought, I don't want to regret not having tried. And I think one of the benefits of being a self-taught artist is that nobody has ever told me the right and wrong way to do things. I've never felt that anything was off limits.
Explain to us the layering process of the collage sections within your work.
Actually, the beginning starts with quite a detailed painting. When I'm happy with that initial painting, then I start to layer collage in fabrics, magazine tears as well. I then start to work into it with paints again. Charcoal, I'll use oil pastels, and I'll start to pull out different areas of the paintings.
In regards now to your printmaking, what is it that carborundum collograph printmaking enables you to do that standard printmaking wouldn't?
I tried a lot of different printmaking processes in my journey, but what I found was that they were very much straight lines. There was no opportunity for little happy accidents. When I discovered carborundum, which is the grit that sandpaper's made of, and mixing it with PVA glue and kind of painting it on, then you got those painterly marks. You could have little brush strokes. I could do printmaking that was like a painting. I handmade all my collage and put that in, and then also at the end I could hand colour them in different ways.
That really is a fascinating printmaking process. What direction do you see your art heading in the future?
I will always hope to evolve my work. I hope never to keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's an interesting journey that could go in any direction, and as long as it's a fun and exciting one, and that comes across in my work, then that's all that matters.
Thank you for talking to us today, Anna. We are thrilled to be exhibiting your work as part of our current exhibition.